Welcome back to another episode of In the Meantime podcast, a 33 and 1 production. I'm your host, Bianca B. And I'm going to say I hope to have future co hosts, and then I will be introducing those individuals. But today I want to go ahead and get into my set of episodes that will discuss setbacks. As I stated in my original intro video, this podcast is going to discuss all things setbacks, legal, law field, faith, and family. And so today's video is going to be about setbacks and why I'm even doing this podcast in the meantime. As I previously said, we all have to go through the in the meantime of the transitions of our life, whatever those transitions are. And I currently am in the transition of employment, unfortunately, fortunately, because it does give me the opportunity to be able to focus back into my content creating, which is something that I've always taken an interest in and always enjoyed doing. And I was just doing it in different areas, like whether it was my hobbies, like the things that I enjoyed doing. I was doing like DIYs of polygel, the material polygel, because there are a lot of creators that do nails, but they handle acrylic, and I was doing polygel. So I used to do that. And then I also used this content creation for my boutique when I was expanding on that. And now I'm in the meantime because I am transitioning with employment. So I have this time to kind of refocus on my content creation and build stability around it before starting the new job. Today is going to discuss setbacks. And as I stated, I am out of work. So the funny thing that's not so funny is that I literally was fired on a Sunday night through text. And the text message itself was confusing because of the things that had taken place prior to being let go. My husband, he works around the clock. Like his type of jobs, it's a clock in, but not a clock out. So given that circumstance, I have to make sure that I do stick to a schedule so that I'm able to be consistent with children when they're needing me. So I have to make sure that the work schedule that I have does fluctuate around them being in school, pickups, drop-offs, band, tutoring, gymnastics, and all of the things. And I had thought that I found an employer who was understanding. I was hired based on a part-time schedule. That was the agreement. But it was like every week that passed, it seemed like me having children was an issue. If I'm being honest, I have never had an employer talking to me in a way that feels like they believe that because you have children, you're not able to accomplish things, or you're not able to do things. So one of the sets of conversations that I will be having will stem around legal and law field, getting into law school, how I took the LSAT, preparation for that, what you can do if that's something you're interested in, and all of those things. So with me coming into this field, I was seeking an employer in that field so that I can get, double the knowledge, double the information. Law school, and I'm working for an employer at a law firm. I thought that would be very helpful to me and help me basically be well-rounded in this legal field. However, when I got into the workplace, I was told that they'd be flexible with me, that they're understanding that I have my children and I have to adhere to this part-time schedule. Just basically, as long as I do my work, I'll be okay. However, as time went on, again, from the very first moment I was hired to the several weeks that passed, I would constantly hear about, Bianca, we just don't know about you because you have children. Oh, Bianca, we just don't know about you because you have real life things going on. No one in this office has children. Or, oh, Bianca, you want to become an attorney, but you have children. And it was very confusing because ultimately what led me to law school is my children. It was the path of my boutique into real estate. And then I was trying to figure out, what is the highest thing that I can do in real estate? Like, what is the highest position basically that you could do in real estate? And that's how I fell into becoming an attorney, because I fell into wills and estates law. And then I went and did more research on that because I was like, okay, this is something I could retire on. And down the rabbit hole I went. And again, It was Kane, Iowa that led me to my real estate, that led me to looking and seeking a higher tier of employment in that particular field, which led me to law school. So it is because of my children that I even took this path, and I'm so grateful for them. And I feel like that I'm going to become an attorney because of them, not in spite of them. And the firm that I was working with seemed like the fact that I am a mother of 3 and I do have to adhere to a schedule. What are you going to do? I literally am not exaggerating on the amount of times that I heard about me having children. And it was very uncomfortable, if I'm being quite transparent. But long story short is, after all weeks of trying my best and doing my best work, and I'm very proud of the experience and the knowledge that I've gained, I was able to do an initial brief, which got accepted by the appellate court. I was able to do multiple petitions. I handled multiple RFP documents and all of the things legal that, again, I will speak about in my legal series. But it was a great experience. I definitely took a ton of knowledge from this experience, and I wouldn't have changed the experience. I am just grateful that in turn, I didn't have to quit. I was let go, even though the reason for being let go is still one that makes no sense to me, because prior to being told that I was being let go because they needed more time for me, which is they're saying that I was on a part-time schedule, they're wanting me to work a full-time schedule. And because I'm not able to at this time, that they have to go in a different direction. And, that text message was sent. And I will post a text message here, but I was literally fired through a text message at 9-something at night. And prior to that, my ex-employer was attempting to call me in the early afternoon, but it was a Sunday. I'm very specific on my Sundays. I'm very specific on my weekends because I do like to take the time to refresh, recuperate, try to reschedule, reorganize. And Sundays specifically, that is my day where I'm very focused on, church, reevaluating my week and what's asked of me, whether it's as a mother, as a wife, and trying to build a closer relationship with God. So on top of the fact that I have not been feeling well, which is a whole other story in itself, because I take a medication that causes me to be extremely nauseous, which I will speak on in the podcast where I'm speaking about family, because that's where I will speak on myself and how it's been impacting my family, because my kids do see what this type of, diagnosis, how living with this type of diagnosis affects me, my husband, and my family, because they have to watch me go through it. And then I have to go through these transitions with medications. So I wasn't feeling well that weekend that I was being contacted by my employer on a Sunday afternoon. So I also wasn't on my phone or by my phone or paying attention to my phone. So I hadn't responded or answered the call, I guess. And so that led to me being fired through text message instead of over the phone, I guess, on a Sunday afternoon. But neither here nor there, because in the meantime, it does provide me the opportunity to continue to focus on my content creation and the In the Meantime podcast. The great thing about that door being closed on a Sunday is on a Wednesday, I was hired for a totally, completely different company, and I will be able to work from home again, which is something that I truly enjoy doing, because I don't like having to travel on the roads, mainly because I don't like having to deal with the nuances of what could occur on the road. I'm a timely person, or I really try to be a timely person, an on-time person. And when you're dealing with the road, you just never know. Is there going to be an accident today? Is there going to be construction today? Is a road going to be closed? And I like to just remove that little nuance, because there are plenty of things that can happen in a day. And if I don't have to worry about that part of it and can just go to work, I would prefer to work from home. So I did obtain another position almost immediately after being let go. That position starts at the end of the month. So until then, I will focus on my In the Meantime podcast and the 33-in-1 media co-production. I am going to end that with saying, although there are doors that do close, there are doors that open, and every closed door is not like this isn't for you. It's more of this isn't the path. It's not a no, it's a not right now. And it's not this is the only way. There are a ton of ways. There are 33 roads you may be able to take to get to the one road that is going to lead you to exactly where you're supposed to be and where you feel complete in that sense. I just wanted to speak on my setback that I have experienced recently, which was being let go from a law firm. It was one of my first positions in a law firm but I know that it won't be my last, because although I am new to the legal field, it's not something that's going to go away. It's something that I'm breaking into, and I'm bringing others along this journey with me, because I want others to also break into different fields that they feel like they were called to break into. And I want to kind of help demystify the concept that, getting into law school is difficult, taking the LSAT is difficult, or becoming an attorney and passing the bar is difficult, because everything and anything is going to be difficult when you're new. That's just how it is. It's just the same as when you're learning to walk. We didn't know how to walk. Our parents taught us how to walk. Now we walk every day. Everything is difficult in the beginning when you're first starting something. But the best way that it becomes less difficult is with practice. Practice makes, not perfect, practice makes progress. And because practice makes progress, I want to assist others in breaking into this particular practice so that we can have more of a presence in the legal field as a female, a Latina, and someone that feels like, with the different things and nuances that are occurring in today in our day-to-days, that we should be doing our part in making sure that we continue to succeed and strive and are successful and are able to leave legacies for our kids, their kids, so on and so forth. So yeah, go ahead and drop a comment if you are experiencing a setback this week or last week or recently you've experienced a setback that you're open to share with me. As I stated, although I was fired one day, I was hired another, and I feel like that was God's protection over me, because it was a position that I was praying over week after week because of the type of environment that I walk into and how I felt this almost like this contention with the fact that I am a mother and a mother striving to become an attorney. And it was just also confusing. I'm going to say that just like in every field, you find that there are, what do we call them? Jewels. We'll call them jewels. Those little jewels of knowledge, those little jewels of success to themselves. I'm not a person that believes only one person can do well in any particular area. I think this world is big enough for everyone to do anything that they're wanting to do, whether it's the space of being on social media, a content creator, whether it's the space of becoming an attorney, whether it's being a teacher, whether it's being an artist, whether it's being a basketball player, a boxer, a pilot, a trash worker, a police officer, a firefighter. Like, I just believe that everyone can be what they want to be. The world is big enough for each of us, and that it doesn't have to be either or. It doesn't have to be me or her. It can be the both of us. It doesn't have to be me or him. It can be the both of us. That's also what I'm striving for in this community, the 33-in-1 community. I want this to showcases and acknowledges and expresses just how much others working together and others helping others build bricks on their foundation so that they can also become successful, how much better it works when you have a team and when you're working alongside others and when you have that common goal. So yeah, again, drop your comments below about any setbacks you've experienced that you feel comfortable doing. Don't feel pressured. I'm just opening up because I know that this is something that others can relate to, but also I want others to know that any door that closes, it's a door that wasn't meant for you, because it is always a blessing in disguise. Thank you for coming here, and like, comment, share, subscribe. I look forward to you guys joining again for the next episode of In the Meantime, where we will discuss everything legal, but not all at once, but it will be about everything legal. I'm Bianca B. Thank you, and see you guys again soon.